I know people are still kind of rolling in. Good morning. Happy Thursday. Hope everybody's doing well. I know it's a spring break kind of week going on here, so I know a lot of you have your kids around, and that's a great thing. And for some of you, that's a different thing. We'll be good for you. We're also team leads and leadership. We are recording this because I know some people had to miss because of that. So you'll have this to go back to as well. We've got some things we're going to start with in a minute here, and then, like I said, the highlight of our meeting is we've got Dusty Oglesby, our bold coach, with us, who's going to give us an incredibly valuable lesson regarding getting listings in the market that we're in today, because we know how tight and tough it is. So off we go. So anyway, if you want to go ahead and click over, Andrew, to the first slide here. There's a couple of things that I wanted to kind of go through with you guys. I know a lot of you are using, they're affectionately called love letters or personification letters, or these letters that when you're in a multiple offer situation, we're having the client use so that their offer stands stronger than the other offers that are around them. And we've had a lot of people use them in a really, really positive way and a real effective way. Comes to be that there are some people that are reporting real estate agents and saying that they're going against the Fair Housing Act, and that things like race and familiar status and all kinds of things like that are being affected by these letters. I know, it's like, what else are we going to deal with in our world right now? So because of that, you'll see we've got these forms to use. One is when you're on a buyer side of the transaction. One is when you're on a seller side of the transaction. And it basically says that the letter, it's a disclosure that is showing that you've not prompted the client to write the letter. You've not guided them how to write the letter. I'll give you an example of one that came up. There was an offer that it was a person that was a single person, and they lost the deal to a family, and they said they were being discriminated against because they were a single person and they deserved the home just as much as someone else did, and then threatened to sue. So that's why we had to go to attorney and say, hey, give us some disclosures here. So here's the deal. It's very simple. If your client is going to use one of these letters, which they're more than welcome to use, you're just going to have them sign this document. It's a unilateral document. We don't have both sides sign it. So if I'm representing buyer and buyer wants to write a letter to make their offer stand out, you have them sign this letter, this disclosure, and then put it in the file, so that if we get questioned by Fair Housing, RESPA, FREC, Department of Business and Professional Regulation, we go, Bobby Agent did not in any way, shape, or form prime this person to write the letter or tell them how to write it. And then that gets put in there. Because now it's strictly between buyer and seller. And then it takes, hopefully, you and me as your broker out of the equation. So again, these will be on there. They're not like a checklist item per se, because we don't use them on everyone, but we will have them in the optional section. Are there any questions about the utilization of that disclosure or these letters?
I have a question, Howard. So we're supposed to have the letter completely sealed so that they know, in an envelope, so that they know we didn't read the letter. We don't need to review it for fair housing violations and say and advise our client you can't say that. Or
so in a perfect, who is talking right now, because I can't see the person.
I'm sorry, Margot Scott.
Margot, in a perfect world, it's in a sealed and you're delivering it right over. We all know that's not going to happen. So we get the fact that it's going to be given by you over to the client. But I think them signing this particular document, that's going to allow them, that's going to take you off the hook technically. I mean, we can't guarantee anything because anybody could sue for anything, but it's going to show that you've not prepped them or primed them and told them how to actually physically write the letter. Does that answer your question?
It does.
Yeah, because Margaret, you're not going to be coaching them on what to say or how to say it. You're just saying if they want to write it, they can, and you'll get it to the other side of the transaction.
Okay.
Okay.
Howard, I put a link in the chat. There was a really great write-up from Florida Realtors on this topic. So I put the link if people want to check it out. They're advising against it, but just feel free to read the link from Florida Realtors.
And I appreciate Katrina. And that link is what another thing that triggered us to use it. Someone's asking where this is. I don't know if Tanya is on here or not yet. Is Tanya Lenhart on here? I don't think she is. So Janine, so Janine, if you could just get, we're going to make sure that it's in as of today. It'll be in the DocuSign and .loop documents. Perfect. So Janine will make sure that is with Tanya. Any other questions on this? No? Okay, moving. Oh, I see it in the thing. No, agent doesn't need to sign it at all, Andrea. Just the client, and just your client, not the other side of the transaction. Only the person that you're representing or the person you're facilitating if you're a transaction broker. Okay, good question though. Good question. Awesome. Okay, Andrew, go ahead and move on to next set of documents here we've got. Okay, the next document you see in front of you is what's called a commission change agreement form. The commission change agreement form is used anytime you're in a situation where a different commission is being paid besides what's offered in the MLS. Let me repeat that again. So if there is a person, oh, Emily, yeah, we can email it as well. It's going to be in Loop as well, Emily, so you'll see it in there as well. Anytime MLS offers a commission, say it's 2.5% or 3% or whatever that is, and the title company goes by that. They have to, by Department of Finance, which is who they're regulated by, they have to go by that. Andrew, you might want to change the spotlight from Jeannie back over to me, but I know you're working it over there. So from that standpoint, this is, if we're going to do anything besides what's in the particular MLS, you will use this form. So let's say you're in a situation where you're contributing $500, or you and the listing agent, or you and the buyer agent are going to contribute $1,000 each, or whatever you're going to do to put a deal together. This form must be part of the transaction because otherwise the title company can't alter from what's in the MLS as of the day you actually went to contract on the property. So understand that that's what this document's used for, number one. Number two, that's between brokers. It's not between clients, because the listing company is who pays the buying company. So for example, if the property is listed in Keller Williams Tampa Properties or Keller Williams Clearwater or whatever, we're going to be altering what we're offering the other side of the company. What I'm going to tell you is this: make sure you have a broker from another company sign this if you are going to alter the commission that's offered in the MLS. At Keller Williams, you control your own business, right? So you get to make the decision if you're going to change your commission, and we do it right along with you. There's no penalties, there's nothing. That's the beauty of being with our company. Many of the traditional companies out there don't do that. They'll say, agent, you can alter your commission however you want. We're not altering ours. So you want to make sure that the broker signs this particular form, okay, for sure, in any situation like that. Katrina, it's actually done at the time of contract, and we've always had it. I just don't know that people realize it was there or not. And usually it's not an issue, but this is kind of like a COA and helps for everybody to make sure it works. Make sure that everyone's covered. Okay. Any questions besides that one on the commission change form? Oh, one other thing on commissions. If you sell a property that's not in the MLS that we're part of, so Stellar for our 3 Tampa Bay offices, Space Coast for our Keller Williams Space Coast Market Center, or some of you belong to like Hernando, so we belong to Hernando with you and so forth. But let's say, like, we had an agent last week go and sell a house in an area that they're not part of the MLS. They just worked with the agent in that area. Make sure you have something in writing regarding the commission, because commission is paid through MLS offering. And if you're not part of that MLS, they don't necessarily have to pay you. So keep that in mind if you go into another part of the state, and let's say it's a huge deal and you want to represent them, and that's your prerogative because your license works there. But if you're not in that MLS, make sure that that's clear on the contract. Okay. Any questions on that? Awesome. Moving right along, Andrew, let's go over here to the, I think it's for sale by owners situation we're dealing with, right? So yeah. Okay. So if you sell a home, and we're having this happen a lot, remember, for sale by owner isn't just for sale by owner from the standpoint of, like, I have a for sale by owner sign in front of my house, I'm going to sell for sale by owner. This is also situations where we have client agents that like are trying to find their buyer home in this haystack, the needle in a haystack, where there's nothing available for them. So in a situation like that, where you're working to like let's say you go to sell a home in Piper's Meadow in Palm Harbor and there's nothing there, so you start door knocking or you start calling the people following the TCPA requirements. You find a home for them, and then the person says they're going to sell. That is still considered a for sale by owner. In a for sale by owner scenario like that, or even in a traditional for sale by owner, our recommendation as a brokerage is that you have the agent sign a single agent representation, which now I'm just looking on here and this is transaction broker. It should be the single agent form. Andrew, go to the next one. Let me double check something. Yeah, that's okay. This is correct. You would have the seller sign a non-representation form, but for some reason, and this is my fault, it's no one else's. The form before this one was a transaction broker form. It really should be the single agent representation form. It's not transition, it's single agent. So you would have your buyer sign the single agent form for you, and that's how you're representing them. And you would have the seller sign the non-representation form. The reason I'm bringing this up is because, Andrew, go back one form to transaction broker. Some of you, what you're doing is you are functioning as a transaction broker for the whole transaction and having buyer and seller sign that. It's legal. There aren't any laws broken by doing this, but to give your buyer the very best representation possible, you would have them sign the single agent for buyer like you do when you do your buyer consultation. So that's why we brought this to your attention. Even though this is transaction broker, can you do this? Yes. It's cleaner and it's neater and there's less opportunity for issues when you have them sign single agent and then the seller send a non-representation. Because go to the next one again, Andrew, I'm sorry. So when the seller understands 100% you're not representing them, it takes any issues off the table when it comes to negotiation or like you weren't looking out for my best interest or anything like that, from the standpoint that, yeah, we're taking, got muted. So that's why I contacted you to see if you wanted to sell your home, but I'm still working on the buyer's best interest. So does that make sense, especially with the market that we're in? Or are there any questions on agency when it comes to selling or for sale by owner?
I have one, Howard. If it was a for sale by owner, can they both sign the no brokerage relationship? Is there any objections with that?
Katrina, I don't know. I have to ask our attorney about
Circle
that.
back around to it. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, because I don't know. I would think so. I mean, if we were going to do that, then we would maybe be a transaction broker. Because remember, a transaction broker means it's not rep on both sides as well. You're representing the transaction, not either party. So I would just go with transaction broker if that's the route you wanted to take. But if you do take that route, make sure both parties sign it. Okay. Any other questions regarding representation when it comes to for sale by owner scenarios? Nope. Awesome. All right, go ahead and move forward here, Andrew. And go ahead and bring Dusty in our spotlight world. So now we're getting to the real great part of our meeting today, because I know no one wants to sit around and talk about paperwork. Dusty Oglesby. Dusty is our bowl coach that we have that's starting our bowl program starting on March 30th, which we could not be more thrilled to have him. Secondly, he's going to be working with us today on getting listings in a tight marketplace. I wanted him to be able to give that to you because we felt like that was the most pertinent and urgent training topic you all needed as a group at this point in time. Because I don't care whether you're in Clearwater Beach, Bel Air, Cocoa Beach, Merritt Island, Largo, wherever you're at, this is an issue. It's an issue in Texas as well. It's an issue in California. It's an issue everywhere. So I wanted him to work with you on that, number one. And number two, I'm going to be honest with you all. The more of you that are involved in Bold with Dusty, the better off you're going to be for both your family and your business. So I thought, what better way for you to get a taste of Dusty is to have him join us. So Dusty, welcome to our group today.
Hey, Howard, thank you guys so much. Thank you all for allowing a Texas boy to come in and have a conversation with you around something that we're all dealing with, right? Hey, let's let's just be honest here. I can't really see you guys, and yet I'm pretty sure I know what I'm going to receive. Oh, there we go. Now I can see you guys. Oh man, that was exciting. There we go. I like to see your face. How many of you miss kind of seeing everybody's face? You know what I mean? Being, if I could be there and hug you, I would. So now I can see you. Hey, regardless of how long you've been in the business, whether you've been in the business 20 years or 20 days, can I tell you something today, Florida? We're all on the same playing field today. Would you agree with that? Okay. How many of you have you ever seen a market like this before? Ever? Anybody?
Ever. And I've been doing this 27 years. Never.
That's right. I mean, we've never seen it, right, Howard? Now, we have seen shifts and we have seen sellers markets before, and yet we've never seen anything like we have right now. And so I thought it was vitally important for us to come on and just have a conversation around that. And what do we do in the middle of kind of what's going on in our industry right now, in our marketplaces right now, and really regardless of wherever you are. So I'm going to share my screen with you. You guys know that in Bold, we are big on mindset. And I will tell you that the first place this starts is in our mindset, because I know we have a lot of agents right now that are in different places in their minds when it comes to our market. I want to give you a few places that I think we are right now. I think we have some people right now that are turning a blind eye to where we are. Would you agree with that? Okay. They're turning a blind eye and they're thinking either, man, I'm afraid of it. And so I'm just going to kind of, you ever been so afraid you didn't move, Florida? You ever been so afraid, like so fearful that it kind of froze you? I think we've got a lot of agents right now that are in that. They're afraid.
What do we call that? Paralysis by analysis?
That's right. Paralysis by analysis, right? Like, man, hey, I can't get a listing. You know, a lot of brand new agents are like, hey, I can't get a listing. I'm brand new. And I just want to talk to all of you today. Every one of you have the same opportunity. The question is, are we going to take the opportunity? Mo Anderson says this. She says, in every obstacle, there is opportunity. So your mindset today, I'm going to ask you to not do nothing, okay? To not do nothing. So I think we have a lot of agents doing that. I think we have a lot of agents that are just sitting in the place of, I don't have any answers. Anybody feel like that? Like, coach, hey man, I'm willing to go to work. I just don't have any answers. And so I think we have agents kind of retreating a little bit of, I don't have any agents. I don't have any answers. And then we have agents like you on this call today. So I want to start off by commending you, because we have another level of agent that's this. They see it and they feel it, and they're showing up to training to find out, how do I operate in it? Okay. Let me tell you something. The people that are going to thrive through this are the learning-based people in our company. And I'm here to tell you, whether you've been in 20 days or 20 years, you better be more learning-based today than you ever have been before. I honestly, and I'm not saying this because I'm a Bold coach, I don't think there's ever been a more important time for us to do Bold than right now across the country, okay? Because we have people sitting at home who are afraid, who are doing nothing, and they're going to end up out of the business. So I'm going to show you a video around the mindset that we're going to have today. And as we move forward with you guys out there in Florida, it's the mindset that I coach my team to. Because here's what I can tell you, and I don't say this to toot my horn, the team that I'm running right now, we are thriving in this market. And it's because of what we've been doing consistently, not just today, for the weeks and the months leading up to this, right? Okay, and that's what I'm going to coach you around today. So here we go. I'm going to share my screen with you real quick. Oh, okay, come on. Hey, if that doesn't get you motivated this morning, I don't know if anything will, right? My dad was a Southern Baptist preacher. He would say, if that doesn't light your fire, then your wood might be wet this morning, okay? So, hey, here's the reason that I show you that. Did you see in the beginning as they talked, right? That she said, I was afraid to come out from behind the music stand. So that is literally the first time they had done this together collectively as a group. And you saw the moment. Did you see the moment where she pushed that music stand down and she came out and the whole world changed in that moment? Did you see that? Could you feel that? Right? In that moment, she steps out from behind that music stand and then she takes ownership of that room. She takes ownership of the climate of that room and she changes it. So here's the first thing I want to tell you guys this morning, okay? You and I cannot control the climate of the market. Write it down. We are not capable of doing that. You and I cannot control the climate outside of our four walls. You and I can control the climate within them. Are you tracking with me? You and I control the climate of our hearts, the climate of our spirits, the climate of our emotions, the climate of our minds. The climate of your home is your responsibility. The climate of your business is your responsibility. And so here's what I'm going to ask you to do right now, okay? I'm going to ask you to step out from behind the stand, because if you intend to thrive in this market, you're going to have to step out from behind the stand and start to do some things that you may be very uncomfortable with, that you may not like, that may be different than anything than you've ever done before. Are you guys tracking with me? And it's going to require us to take some massive action like you just saw her do right there. And let me tell you what will happen when you do it. The climate around you will begin to change. Are you with me? The people around you will begin to change, and the results around you will begin to change. This is the way that it works. Are you guys tracking with me? So team leaders, I know you're on the call. Hear me. The climate of your market center is your responsibility in these days. OPs, the climate of your market centers is your responsibility. Agents, okay, team owners, are you hearing me? The climate of your team is your responsibility. An agent, your life, your bank account, your actions, all your responsibility. You guys tracking with me today? So let's talk about how do we get out from behind that music stand and take massive action in this market today. So I'm going to give you some things today that are around mindset. I'm going to give you some things that are around skill set, and I'm going to leave you with some real specific things you can do right now today in this market to make sure that you are earning listings, okay? I want you to write a question down for me right now. Here's what it is. Am I a chaser or am I an attractor? Am I a chaser or am I an attractor? So what I'm going to coach you on today is what it looks like to be an attractor. Because let me tell you something, everybody hear me. If you are out chasing the market right now, it's because you haven't built a business that has created you to be an attractor. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Okay. And here's a fear I have for every single one of our agents across the country. Okay. My fear is we have agents who are chasing the market of the moment, and they are not building a foundational business that will withstand whatever the market is. Okay, you heard me say earlier that we are thriving. The reason is we have built a business with a strong foundation that is, write these words down, sustainable, predictable, and duplicatable. Sustainable, predictable, and duplicatable. Let me tell you something. That is how you build a business through your database. Gary Keller has been preaching it to us for years. Do you understand now why? Are you tracking with me, Florida? There's a reason. And the reason is your business is your database. So we're going to talk your database first and how we can, because everybody hear me. There is opportunity right now, today, as you sit in this seat on this Zoom, there's opportunity right now in your database waiting for you. The question is, are you going to go grab it? Okay, because I want you to hear something, okay? Every single person that's in your database right now, do you think you're the only realtor in theirs? Please say no, because you're not, all right? Hey, our people are everywhere, okay? All right? I don't care where you go, you're going to find a realtor. You know what you're not going to find everywhere you go? A business owner. You're going to find realtors. They're everywhere. Okay. Like everybody's mamas, sisters, brothers, best friend is a realtor. Oh, I know somebody. They're a realtor. No. You're not a realtor, Florida. You are a business owner. And we got to start acting like one today, or we're going to be left behind by the people who are. You tracking with me? Okay. So here's what I want to ask you to do. First and foremost, I want you to write down 4 things. Here's the first one. Get out from behind the stand and meet more people. Meet more people. So I want you to think today. Think right now. How many of you on the Zoom right now, by show of hands, drove to your office today? Anybody? Okay. How many of you plan on driving anywhere today? Anybody? Plan on driving somewhere today? How many businesses do you think you're going to pass today while you're driving, Florida? Somebody just throw out a number to me. How many businesses you think you're going to pass today?
30.
At least 30. I would agree with that. 30, 50, right? Okay, here's my question. Have you been in those businesses? Do you know the owners in those businesses? Do you have any idea who they are or what they do? Let me tell you a tangible way today for you to go out and begin to earn business immediately in your marketplace is you better go meet more people. Okay, you better go meet more people. Go in there. I can promise you this will go well for you. If you'll walk into any business, here's what I love about business to business, all right? They want to coach you too. You know what happens when you call? So let me ask you this. When you call a for sale by owner, do they always answer? No, they don't. Let's be honest. Even though there's signs on their yard and it says, call us, we want to sell our house, they don't answer their phone, okay? Which is weird to me, all right? Do expires always answer their phones? No. Do the people in your database always answer their phones? No. Do businesses answer their phones? Yeah, they do. You want a script and role play? Call a business. Call the 30 that you passed today, and you're moving right past them and not recognizing that there is business opportunity sitting in the middle of them, and you are missing it. Are you with me? You got to meet more people. Show up at their place of business and ask them this. Hey, would it be okay? Tell them what you do. Hey, I'm in the real estate industry. I own my own business just like you do. And I am always looking for people that I can partner with that are like-minded in growth and in opportunity. Would it be okay if I highlight your business for free on my Facebook page where I have 5,000 people following me? Would that be okay? Do you think any business owner on this planet is going to say no to that? Okay. Would you say no to free marketing? Please say no. All right. Okay. So why are we not getting out from behind our fears and going out there and meeting more people? Are you guys tracking with me? Okay. That's a tangible step you can take today, that you can literally take today. Okay. Very, very simple. All right. Just have the conversation. Hey, I'm a business owner. I'm in the real estate arena. I'm going to give it to you again. Okay. Simple script. And I am always looking for people that I can partner with, that are like-minded in growth, that I can walk alongside, and we can work together to grow our businesses and be hyper local in our community. And I'd love to come, man, once a month and just highlight your business. Would that be okay? Okay. You guys tracking with me? Okay. Can you do that? Is that something we can do? Yes. Okay. Now, if you're afraid to do it, here's what I'm going to ask you to do. You ready? Write it down. Do it. Do it. Okay. Feel the fear. We have this saying in the Oglesby house that is this: feel the fear and do it anyway. On the other side of that fear, is where your opportunity lies. You got to get out from behind the music stand. Are you tracking with me? Okay. Number 2, write it down. You ready? Have more conversations. Have more conversations. Okay, so don't just meet them one time. Have a conversation with them. And then here's this: have a consistent, like weekly, daily conversation with them. We've got to have a follow-up plan with these people. The money, ladies and gentlemen, is in the follow-up. The money is in the follow-up. So you've got to meet more people, and you've got to have more conversations, okay? So out to the side of that, would you just write this down? The conversation is the relationship. The conversation is the relationship. Okay. So everybody hear me. Are you ready? Okay. Now I'm not telling you to not do. So you got to have a 36 touch. You got to have a 19 to connect. All of those things are vital in this market. Can I tell you where you're going to win though? When you have the conversation, here's what a conversation does to your 36 touch that I trust you're running right now. If you're not, start doing it right now. Okay. A 36 touch makes sure that you stay in front of your people, even when you're not in front of your people. You understand what I'm saying? It keeps you in front of your people, even when you're not in front of your people. Now, when you have a conversation with them, okay? When you have a conversation with them, it shines a light on every other touch in your smart plan. It puts a flashlight right over it, okay? If you don't have the conversation, do you know what happens to your emails and your postcards? Can I tell you with all the love in my heart? They get deleted. They get thrown away. You know, because this morning you did what I did, didn't you? You can admit it. You got up, you pulled out your phone, you went over here to your emails, didn't you? You clicked the edit button and you went, and you deleted everything that you didn't want to see. Did you not do it? You did it, didn't you, Florida? Yeah. Well, you're going to get one from me later on today, and you better not delete that one because we just had a conversation, okay? It shines a light on it. Have more conversations. So I have an incredible relationship with my bride. Can I tell you why? Because we talk. I don't send her a postcard and ask her how she's doing. I don't text her. I talk to her. I have a conversation with her. I'm consistent in my communication. You guys tracking with me? Okay, and then that leads us to number 3. Build more relationships. Build more relationships. Now I'm going to ask you, I know you're taking notes because I can see you, and even if I can't see you, I trust with all my heart you are. I want you to draw a triangle right now. Draw a triangle on your paper. Now down on the bottom left corner of that triangle, would you write the word logic? And in the bottom right portion of that triangle at the bottom, would you write the word emotion/empathy? Emotion/empathy. And then at the top of the triangle, would you write the words authentic you? Authentic you. And then right in the middle of that triangle, would you write real big in capital letters, trust? Trust. Okay, I'm going to teach you right now how to do this with the people in your database, and I promise you with integrity it works. Now, everybody hear me. It may not be an immediate fix. It will build a business for you, though, that will sustain whatever market that you're in, okay? And I also believe there are people right now in your database that are looking to sell. We're going to talk about those folks in just a minute, okay? So here's how you do it. Every single person on this call, if I could ask you to do one thing that I know works, it would be the second we get off this call to get off and make a plan to call the top 100 people that you know in your life, okay? In your database, call the top 100 people. And I don't mean you have to call them all at one time, okay? That's not going to go well. 100, make 100 calls this week. And here is your conversation, okay? And you can say it with full integrity, all right? If I were to call Howard, my conversation would be very simple. It would be, Howard, hey, it's Dusty. Hey, do you have just a few minutes? And immediately after he says yes, then I'm going to say, first, if I haven't talked to Howard in a while, right, I might have a forward conversation. I'm going to ask him about his family. I'm going to ask him about his job. And typically when we ask people about their job, what do? They ask us about our job, right? Whether they do or whether they don't, Mary Beth, I'm going to say, hey, I'm calling everyone that I care about. Say those words. I'm calling everyone that I care about. And I'm letting them know about the market that we're in right now in real estate, not because I'm here to sell you something, because I've never seen anything like it. And quite frankly, I would not be a good friend if I didn't. Okay. All right. And then we're going to have a conversation that is logic first. Okay. So the logic in this conversation is what? We have never seen a market like we're in right now. Is that a true statement you can say with integrity, Florida? Yes, it is. Okay. And then they need to hear, okay, they need to hear this, all right, that we are selling homes now for more than we ever have. And I want to make sure that the people I know and I care about understand the equity position they have today in their home. Okay. Everybody write those words down. The equity position that they have today in their home. Now, if you're calling somebody who's like 25 or 26 years old, you may not say equity position. You may say how much money you've got sitting there, right? So you gotta say it. You gotta know your audience, know their equity position right now. Now, here's the beauty of it. Then you're gonna ask them, would it be okay? Okay, would it be okay if I just sent over to you, or would you like to know what your house is worth today on paper based on the market? Okay, that's the question you're gonna ask. Now, here's the beauty of this. Are you with me? Most people want to know where they sit today. Would you guys agree with that? They at least want to know, okay? They want to know what their equity position is. Here's the beauty of our market right now, and this is what you need to explain. You can also say, when I send you these numbers and on paper, I want you to know that the market isn't even telling us the whole story. Do you understand what I'm saying there, Florida? Is the piece of paper we're sending them, is the CMA you're running telling them the whole story, yes or no? No, it's not. Because chances are their house is worth more than that, because, everybody write it down, a house is worth whatever a buyer is willing to pay. And right now, buyers are willing to pay more than that piece of paper says. Now that then goes into their emotion and where we begin to have empathy. Does this make sense to everybody? This is where we start to understand how does this line up for them? Is it going to be helpful for them to be able, you know how many families we've helped so far this year pay off a ton of debt because they've had the equity to be able to do it? Okay. All right. So you're building more relationships just by having a conversation. Okay. And you can start it with a care call, just asking people how they're doing. And the authentic you part comes in. Everybody hear me. People are in your database because they like you. You're in their database because they like you. So don't call and be somebody different. Call and be the authentic you. Show up and be the authentic you. And in doing all of that, what happens is you build trust with people. You're not selling them. Do you understand what I'm saying? You're not selling them anything. You're caring enough to have the conversation. And I can promise you, if you'll go do that with 100 people in your database, I promise you there's opportunity sitting there right now. Because can we all agree on something? Regardless of the market, people are going to continue to buy and sell homes in Florida. Yes or no?
100%.
It's not going anywhere, team. I don't care if we're in a buyer's market or a seller's market, okay? This is why, though, you build those relationships, because here's what happens when you build relationships, guys. You stop being a chaser and you start being an attractor. People are drawn to you because you are in relationship with them and you are being your authentic self. Does this make sense to everybody? Now, here's the next thing I'm going to challenge you to do. Be someone that people desire to be around and be in business with. Don't be average. Don't be boring. As I was talking to Howard in leadership when we were talking about putting this bowl together for you, right? The conversation came up around it's going to be on Zoom, okay? And a lot of people are giving this excuse right now. I'm just talking about everybody across the country. They're like, oh man, I'm zoomed out. I don't want to do Zoom anymore. I'm so bored with Zoom. You're right. You're not tired of Zoom. You're tired of boring Zoom. Okay? Right? You haven't been bored for the last 47 minutes, have you? Now, you may have been a little bored when we were talking about paperwork, all right? Paperwork is not exciting, okay? You haven't been bored since then. I know it, okay? So what I'm saying is, don't be boring. Don't be average. People don't do business with average, boring people, okay? They do business with people who are willing to get out from behind a music stand and take a stand for them. You guys tracking with me? And that's your job. You get the gift and the opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, to help people make one of the largest, if not the largest, financial decisions of their entire lives. That's a big deal. So when you call, you build trust by showing that you care, and you care by showing them the opportunities that are in front of them. Lay out for them their equity position, okay? And by doing those three things, meet more people, have more conversations, build more relationships, and earn more money. Number 4, earn more money. Okay. Now, I know a lot of you are thinking building relationships takes time, and it does. That's why I'm telling you this. Okay. The reason that myself and many are thriving right now is because they have built relationships that creates a sustainable, predictable, and duplicatable business. So it's not a chasing of the market. It is a continuing the foundation of building the relationships that sustain you, and you become an attractor, right? You become an attractor. Now, let me give you 4 ways that you could do business right now. And I think you're going to see real quick what we mean by become an attractor. Okay. So I'd like you to write these words down: standard, choice, custom, and unique. Standard, choice, custom, and unique. Can I tell you what most real estate agents across the country do on a daily basis? They just do the standard level of performance. They do just enough to get by. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? So I have said from the day I got in this industry, one of the first things I learned, Howard, when I got in this industry is it didn't take much for me to stand out. You know why? It's not because I'm awesome. It's because people are just running around being standard. They're not getting out from behind the music stand. They're just doing what they've always done. Can I tell you something, a bold law? You keep doing what you've always done, you're going to keep getting what you always got. And eventually you're not going to like what you have. Okay, that's the second part of that's the dusty part of that.
Yeah, the dusty suffix I saw.
Right. I just threw in the dusty part there at the end, right? You keep doing what you have always done, you're going to get what you've always got. That's the bold law. The dusty part is, and eventually you're not going to like what you got. Okay, you guys tracking with me? It's going to take you being different, doing something different. Because here's the second word. Every single person out there has a choice, yes or no? They have a choice on who they work with. They have a choice on who they trust. So I want you to hear me. I do not want you to be a choice. I'm going to ask you to be the choice. Are you with me? Position yourself to be the choice, that they don't think about anyone else other than you when it comes to real estate, because you have stayed in front of them and created such a connection that there's no way they're going anywhere else. Does this make sense to everybody? Can I tell you one way my team and I did this during COVID? For every person in our database that we knew had COVID, and we knew because we're tracking with them, we're calling them, how are you doing? How's your family? You know what we did? So here's what I've learned. If you ask people if they need something, typically people say what? No, we're good. It's okay. We don't need anything. Okay. So guess what? I didn't ask them. You know what we did? We just showed up. When we found out that they had COVID and they were going to be on lockdown for 14 days, you know what we did? We just took them a meal, put it on their front porch. I never knocked on the door. I never went inside. I got back in my car. I called them and I said, hey, I just want you to know you got a hot meal on your front porch. We love you. Let us know if you need anything else. We didn't ask. We just did it. Can I tell you something? When they get ready to sell their house, you think they're going to call the realtor that didn't do that? Or are they going to call me?
Call Dusty.
Attractor. Are you guys tracking with me? Now, I didn't do it to get their business. I did it because I genuinely care about them and they know it, so they trust us, okay? They have a choice. Don't be a choice, be the choice. You know how you're the choice? Be custom. Okay, so I'm a golfer. We got any golfers on the screen? Anybody a golfer? Okay, so I am, Kathy, I'm 5'6" tall. Okay, now I know you're probably thinking, man, that is a strong dude right there on that screen. I'm 5'6", 125 pounds, Kathy, on a good day. Okay. Now let me tell you something. When I buy golf clubs, I can't buy the standard golf clubs because I'm not standard. I'm custom. All right. So I don't just go buy a regular set of golf clubs. You know what I do? I pay a lot of money to have custom made golf clubs that fit me. They're mine. I pay like $2,000 for them. Now, Kathy, I don't know if they make me any better. I'm just telling you I pay $2,000 for them. Now, why do I do that? I'll tell you why. Because they're custom to me. I have my name on my putter. It's custom. At least makes me feel like I'm going to shoot under par. You guys tracking with me? Okay. Let me ask you a question. Are you setting up an experience that is custom to your people? Be different, be custom. That's what they're looking for. Be unique. Everyone on the call, you need to right now know your unique value proposition. What's your unique value proposition? What sets you apart from all the other choices in the marketplace? You guys tracking with me on that? What sets you apart from all the other choices? Let me give you an example. One of the greatest examples I've heard of is a gentleman who was with our armed services. He had served in the Air Force for 15 years. And on his business card, on one side of his business card, he had a picture of himself in his flight suit, standing in front of an F-16. And it said, "I protected you then." And then you flip his business card over and he's wearing a suit and tie, standing in front of a house, and he says, "And I'll protect you now." Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. I'm doing business with that dude. Are you with me? I'm doing business with that dude. Okay? Set yourself apart. Don't be standard. Don't be a choice. Be the choice, because you are custom, because you care, because they can trust you, and be unique. Set yourself out. Stop being a chaser of the market of the moment and start being an attractor. Okay? Let me give you two real examples of how to do this. How many of you on the call have been a part of transactions this year where they are multiple offer? Raise your hand. Come on, put your hands up. Yes, it's like we're doing the wave. Everybody has. Everybody has. Now, let me ask you a question. Have you won all of them? No, you haven't. Come on, raise your hand if you've lost some of those offers. Come on. Put your hand up. Anybody? What'd you do about it? Did you just go to the next house? Okay, everybody hear me. Take advantage. Oh, here's what I want to teach you right now. Take advantage of the market that we are in. Get out from behind the music stand. When you put an offer in for a client and it does not get accepted, okay? Do you think you're the only offer that didn't get accepted? Say no. So here's what I would coach you to do, okay? And Hudson, great job. Hudson actually put one of these on the Facebook page for the Tampa Market Center. Put a letter out or go door to door. If I'm you, I'm getting behind the music stand. I'm going door to door. You can do it safely. Put a mask on, knock on the door, step back 6 feet. And here's your script. I have a buyer right now. We put an offer in on 7058 Pecan Chase Lane 2 days ago, and it was not accepted. In fact, there were 11 other offers. And I came by today to see if you would want to, if you have the equity position that you desire to possibly be able to sell your house to them. I've got the buyer right now. Would you like to have a conversation about what your house is worth? And hey, if it's not the house for my buyer, there's 10 other offers out there that I'm aware of that they're looking for a house in your neighborhood. Take advantage of the market that we're in. Do you understand what I'm saying? How many of you have had listings that went with multiple offers? Put your hands up. Anybody? Okay. Well, did you do anything with the offers that didn't get your house? Did you go get more listings? Because that's what you better do. You want to win in this market, you got to go earn more listings. So go door to door and say, "Hey, we just sold the house over at 7058 Pecan Chase Lane. In fact, we had 20 offers on it, and it went for $50,000 above list price." Does that sound interesting to you? It does. I bet it does. You want to sell your house? Because there's 20 people out there waiting to buy it right now. Are you with me? You guys tracking with me? Okay. Do you see how automatically this can begin to earn listings for you? My team earned 7 listings in the last 10 days doing exactly what I just told you. Okay. Just going to the neighborhoods and laying it out for, what are we doing? We're giving them logic. Okay. We're going to their emotion. Okay. We're being our authentic selves and we're building trust with them. We're building those relationships. Okay. Does this make sense to everybody? Has this been helpful to you today? Just so you know, I could talk for the next 2.5 hours, and in bold, I'm going to. All right. Okay. So we're gonna bring you everything we've got in bold. And so let me hear from you. I know we've got till right up at the top of the hour. What are some questions that you have?
Just so you know, too, the Tampa training room that has 40 agents in it, their power went out. So we're recording this. Hudson's sitting there with them in the dark. Because there's a couple of training rooms on here as well, but they're kind of sitting there rotting. So, Tiff, I know you're going to see this after the fact. I know, let's see, Katrina, you had a question. What time it should be allocated? It's the bold programs, it's different. It's 3 hours for 6 weeks, and it's only 3 hours. It's 9 to 12 on Tuesday. It's Tuesdays, correct? That's what we did for
Correct.
this bowl?
Yes.
Tuesday mornings, 9 to 12.
March 30th, 9 to 12. Guys, the beauty of the way we're doing bold now is doing this from 9 to 12. You've got the rest of your day then to go put into play everything that we've talked about, right? That's the beauty of it. And so, on the call too, you're going to be, all the accountability is back. We're going to be tracking your numbers. We're going to report those numbers out every day. I'm going to coach you to the numbers. You're going to be on a team. You're going to have a team captain. You're going to be in breakout rooms each day. Massive level of accountability, massive levels of action. The material is the best from what we call Bold Classic and Bold 2.0, all coming together. So we've taken the best of the best and put it into those 3 hours. And I'll tell you, so far, our feedback and kind of our 5-star ratings have actually even been better than they were when we were in the room. So all that being said, what else can I answer for you? Anything at all, team? Throw them at me.
Wow, quiet group right now.
Okay, now usually, Howard, that means I either nailed it or I blew it. So I'll go with I nailed it. How about some ahas? What's something you wrote down today that you're going to put into play? Juan, go for it.
Wow, I mean, damn, Dusty, you nailed it. And yes, I'll be remarketing my neighborhoods where I lost offers, but it's true. I noticed that the ones I have won were the ones in where I established a relationship with the other agent prior to even making the offer.
That's right. That's right. Hey, Juan, you brought up a great point there. Team, you got to remember your fiduciary duty to your clients is to be their advocate. It is also to be in good relationship with the agent on the other side of the transaction. Okay, this is like you build rapport with that agent. I guarantee you, your offer is going to stand higher. Yes or no? I mean, it's just the way that it works, right? Okay.
Yeah.
What else?
Any other questions about any other ahas or questions about Bold itself? I know, Andrew, did you want to show them the where they can find the registration process for this? Because Dusty's right, it is filling fast. There are 5 market centers that have access to this. You don't want to lose that opportunity, and it's something that we all need at this point in time. Absolutely. So that's where you can find, and all your market centers have this. The agent services people have it. The team leaders have it. That's the link to be able to register. Remember, we're doing a reimbursement program, right? So it's a $399 program. The market center is reimbursing back $199 back to you from transactions done during it. So it's really basically $199. And there's a reason why we have agents in the company that have taken Bold 9, 10, 11, 12. I don't know if you saw the interview that Bobby Polini did with Jake Ancarelli yesterday. He's taken it 16 times. Yeah. The reason is because the impact and the difference it's going to make in your business. Oh, I see Andrew put the link to right there in the chat box. So you can click right on the link in there and you can sign right on up for that. Go. So hey, Dusty, any closing words on this?
So guys, one thing I would say, so I watched that interview as well. And here's one thing you need to note that was said on there, which I thought was awesome, is Jake said his every year has been his best year. Okay, did you hear? If you haven't watched it, go watch it. He said every year has been my best year. You know what that means? That means every year he's gotten better and better and better. And it's not just a coincidence, right? Where that's come from. We coach you to the skill set and mindset that's required to not survive, thrive, and build sustainable, predictable, duplicatable businesses. And one thing I would say is so our goal is to get to 100 by the end of the day. I don't know if that's everybody else's goal. That's my goal. We're at 60 right now. We're leading the country, Florida. Okay. So I don't know if y'all are competitive. I am. We're leading the whole country. And the goal is to get to 100 by the end of the day today. So we've got 80 something people on this call. All right. So, So I'll make you an offer as well. So number one, if you plan on signing up today, either click on that or put your name over in the chat box. that you're, hey, just say, I'm in. And then that way your team leader can go ahead and get on the phone with you and answer any questions. So if you know you're in, put your name over in the chat box, just say I'm in, so that we can get you on there. And here's what we'll do. We hit that 100 by the end of the day today, Howard. Then let's take everybody who's signed up, put them into a pile, and pull 2 names out, and I'll personally sponsor 2 people to go at no cost. No cost.
That's awesome.
Hey, I didn't ask my wife if I could do that, so y'all need to get real excited on this call about that, okay? Because I gotta go downstairs and tell her now, okay? So
that's
anyway,
awesome. We appreciate that.
Hey guys, I do that because I believe in what we do, and I'm just telling you, get in there with us. Thank you for the time today, Howard. Thank you for your leadership. Can we just give a hand right now for the leadership you guys get the gift and honor to be a part of? Every single leader on the call, thank you for all you do, every role you play. Get in there with us. Look at this. We got I am in coming in. That's what I'm talking about.
There's lots of them. And just know this, the team leaders, we're all in. I'm in. We're all doing this because we see the value in this. I've taken Bold 7 times myself, and I know the value of what it's going to bring me too.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pamela,
yes.
Okay. So I've taken Bold. I've been in business with Keller Williams for 5 years. It'll be 6 coming up. I've taken Bold 4 times, and I was not going to take Bold this time. And I decided, no, I'm going to listen to this guy, because you kind of looked goofy to me in the ad. And I thought, okay, I have to see what this guy has to say. So, so I turned you on, and within the first 5 minutes, you had my attention. And then the next 10 minutes, you grabbed me in, and then you're like really electric, and you're actually telling the reality of what is happening and how to overcome it. So, and I personally need that motivation like that. I too have been really successful in business, and every year has been better and better for me here at Keller Williams too. But I got into a little bit of a dump in the last, like, I'd say 4 weeks, where I've been getting beaten up, and I've had to keep picking myself up. And hearing you has really, you hit it. You hit the spark that I needed. You ignited me again. Okay, so I want more of that.
Awesome.
So I'm coming.
Hey, thank
That's
you
awesome,
so much.
Pamela.
Hey, and Pam, just so you know, that's not the first time I have been called goofy. All right. So I just want you to know, when your name is Dusty and your brother's name's Rusty and you sound like I do, it's just part of what comes with you. Okay?
And you're from Houston, Texas.
And you're from Texas. I mean, like there is no way I could be from anywhere else. So Pamela, thank you for trusting us. Thank you for taking a stand for yourself and where you are, and being honest and authentic. Because I'll tell you guys this: be honest about where you are. That's the only way you're going to get where you're going. And I'll finish with this, if you guys don't mind. I know we're a little past. I want you to ask yourself 2 questions today. On a 1 to 10, where would you rate your business? 10 being the very best. Today, right now, where you sit, where would you rate your business on a 1 to 10 today? And then I'm going to ask you on a 1 to 10, where would you rate your life? On a 1 to 10, 10 being the best. Okay, and 10 team means that we have order and rhythm and excitement and energy and joy. And here's what I'm going to tell you. And here's what I'm going to ask you. If you can't with integrity say, Coach, I'm playing life at a 10 and I'm playing business at a 10, then you got to get in here with us, because we're going to take whatever number you're at and we're going to show you how to go towards a 10. And I promise you this, when you get up every day and you play at a 10, you will have the results of a 10. When you get up every day and you play at a 5, you're going to get the results of a 5. Okay. I love you. Come on. We'll see you. Pamela, thank you so much. Howard, appreciate you.
Okay.
I will
Love
see
you,
all of you on Tuesday. We got 150 spots, team, and let's get to 100 by the end of the day today. And I got 2 scholarships for you. Okay.
Love you, Dusty. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Have a great week. Thanks.